Hi, I'm Scott Kelly, a former NASA astronaut, and I'm on a mission to help your...
I don't know there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. In fact, you and I are working here. We have evidence.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to mental exercise on the platform today. So you just got through watching a video from San Diego, California, US, with like 8 minutes and 6 seconds long. So I have one thing I want to share with you all today. All right, give me a minute. Let's see. All right. So the worksheet that you see right here, it talks about healthy versus unhealthy coping skills. Coping skills are acts we take consciously or unconsciously to deal with stress. So we're going to be talking about stress for the next couple of broadcasts. So here we go. On uncomfortable emotions, unhealthy coping strategies tend to feel good in the moment but have long-term negative consequences. Healthy coping strategies may not provide instant gratification, but they lead to long-lasting positive outcome. So what you see right here on these two screens, you have the unhealthy coping skills, then you have the healthy coping skills. So the unhealthy coping, you got drugs, alcohol, overeating, procrastinating, sleeping too much or little, social withdrawal, self-harm, and aggressiveness. On the healthy concept is exercise, talk about your problems, healthy eating, seeking professional help, relaxing techniques, meaning deep breathing, using social support, and problem-solving techniques. So you have these on the left, and then you have these on the right. So this is what this looked like with all of this here and then all this stuff on the right hand side of it. Let me show you. Hold on, everybody. All right. So this is what it looks like with the unhealthy, and you have the healthy concept too. So here's a couple of scenarios that I want to it's kind of like a couple of stories, and then they have questions along about some of the things that you read and some more things that I want to share with you all. So here's an example scenario. So the first story is Noah has a research paper due in one of her classes. Because the paper was required so much work, Noah felt anxiety every time she think about it. When Noah distracts herself with other activities, she feels better. Nola used the coping strategies of procrastinating to avoid her feeling anxiety. This helped her feel better now, but what caused problems in the long run? So that's the first story. The second one is Juan feels jealous whenever his wife spends time with her friends. To control the situation, Juan used insults to put down his wife's friends and demand that his wife stay home. When Juan wife caved to his demands, he feels a sense of relief. Juan's using the coping strategy of aggression to avoid the discomfort of jealousy. So we got two different negative scenarios going on here in this platform here. So the second one, or the last one, is Rebecca is angry about being passed over for promotion at work. Rather than discussing the situation with her boss and trying to improve her work performance, she holds on to her anger. Rebecca has learned to manage her anger by drinking alcohol. Drinking numbs Rebecca's anger temper, but the problem at work remains unresolved. So the three scenarios I just read to you all, the first one talked about her anxiety, the second one talks about jealousy, and the third one talks about somebody who has a drinking problem and is really coping with it the best way you know how to. So now, as I read these different stories, and all of them were negative, and it has a long-term effect. With the first one, with the procrastination stage, that continue to happen until you really dive into that and move past that, which is a choice. The next one is about the jealousy factor, not understanding the wife or the husband. That factor right there can be very tricky. Simply the fact that he's upset that she's spending more time with her friends, and there's really no communication or wavelength. Who's right, who's wrong, who knows? But communication is very important in this particular factor to get his mindset and her mindset. And his perspective, he want her to spend more time with him and less time with her friends. And that's a private conversation between two individuals. The next part talks about anger, how she's frustrated that she didn't get the promotion or the recognition that she deserved from that position. And that caused her to have problems. So she's drinking to relieve that temporary anger, but that problem gonna still be there, I should say. Even with the second scenario, that problem is gonna still be there until you address that. The first problem is still gonna be there until you address that. These things you have to address even when you don't feel confident or comfortable. These are some very scareful and uncomfortable situations that you're seeing right here, everybody. So these questions that I see right here is, number one, what consequences might result from the individual unhealthy coping? It's going to be long-term problems. They're going to continue to have to struggle. They're going to continue to have problems. They're going to continue to deal with these issues until they say, hey, I want to apply these techniques. For example, they may not want to go exercise. They want to talk about their problems. They may want to use social support or problem-solving techniques. See, exercise may not be the thing they may enjoy, so they may want to talk about their problems, or they may not know how to articulate, so they may want to seek professional help, or they may want to use relaxing techniques to help them, and using support system as well as problem solving techniques. These formats that you see on the right side of you, everybody, are healthy techniques that they're putting out there, and you can pick and choose which one feels comfortable to you. You just don't want to do all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Pick and choose what feels comfortable to you. You may want to exercise, you may want to talk about your problems, you may have healthy eating, you want to seek professional help, you may want to use relaxing techniques like breathing, yoga, Pilates, walking, jogging, whatever it may be, using social support and problem solving techniques. These are some of the things that really shows like, oh, the first scenario, there was a negative situation. There's long-term problems along that. With that, it's up to that individual when they want to change, okay? But these are some healthy techniques that kind of get you to think like, hey, did I really have this? Do I really have that? These are things that make you really think for yourself, to dig a little deeper. And a lot of people don't want to dig a little deeper, and it's scary and it's frightening. It's a choice, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here to share the information on this platform, okay? So I got one more thing I want to share. Next question. What healthy coping skills could be helpful for interviews? What helping coping skills? Like I talked about, exercising, seeking help, breathing, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable. What barriers might be preventing the individual from using help? They might be afraid of unknown things. Like I said, it goes back to the mindset. If your mindset is not ready for that, or so afraid for change, or so afraid of adapting to something completely different, you're going to stay in the same place. But when you open up your mind and explore these different new options and things that you can help yourself, it'll be like, whoa, this is a new norm. But you're going to get scared at first. But at the same time, when you go back and think about some of these techniques you're using, does it help? Does it really make you feel good? Whatever it is that make you feel good, these are some techniques you can kind of use to kind of help on that factor. So now I have this one part talks about healthy versus unhealthy coping skills. So the question is, describe a problem you are currently dealing with. So this here talks about the problem that you're dealing with right now. Then it talks about my healthy coping strategies, consequences of unhealthy coping. So what are some of the habits and things that you're facing right now? Like I said, you can write this in your journal, tablet, whatever you want. These are some things that kind of make you think. The next one here talks about healthy coping strategies I use or could use. Expect outcome of healthy coping strategies. Barrel to using healthy coping strategies. So these here are like different little things. So we got healthy coping strategies you can put here, and expect the outcome of healthy coping strategies here, bearing to use healthy coping strategies here. So these three little scenarios are some things that you can kind of write and refer back to kind of give you an understanding on what you should do for yourself as an individual. Like I said, exercising, jogging, you can do meditation, you can read affirmations, you can take a walk, you can find something, watch a funny video, you can do something that just keep your mind occupied and start thinking of it on a positive note, everybody. So that is all I have for you today on this platform. Let's see, tomorrow 7 p.m. we're going to go ahead and review the Bible study session of last week, which was like a 2-3 minute video that I did briefly. So we're going to go over the content for that platform, and then the women's ministry Bible study session 7:30 p.m. on IG, YouTube, and Facebook. So make sure you tune in for those who are following on that. We're going to continue to talk about the topic satisfying of His love. It's by Melanie Newton. It's a Bible study teaching. Last month we talked about compassion. This month we're going to talk about truth. And we're going to kind of go back into last month's homework assignment in the book of Luke chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and kind of touch bases with that before we go into the next segment on that. Thursday again, webinar, mental exercise, and of course Sunday everything will be replayed from the last 2 Sundays, so you can check that out at 9:30 a.m. as well as 11 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And for those of you who are subscribed to IG, you can go ahead to the YouTube channel on top of the cover page at One Time Ministry and you can watch the replay of the last Sunday's service as well as the Sunday before that. Make sure you tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. for the mental exercise for our youth. And that's pretty much all I have for you all today. Alright, so you all have an amazing and a wonderful and blessed Tuesday, and I will see you all back here tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. I keep saying 7 a.m. 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Okay? Be blessed, be empowered, be lifted, be encouraged, take care of yourselves, and that's all, folks.